What up, friends? I've never been kissed in my life. Today, we're going to be reviewing Purple Kiss's debut mini-album, Into Violet. Like I said, this is the debut mini-album from K-pop girl group Rookie's Purple Kiss. The group has a pretty unique flair to them that separates them from a lot of their contemporaries, I find. The dark pop and R&B sound is a great combination that I've really only seen be explored by groups like Dreamcatcher, and honestly, that's kind of about it. I think it's a breath of fresh air for the modern K-pop scene, and this debut mini is actually a bit longer than a lot of the debut minis that you might see recently. And I think it does a pretty good job at showcasing their talents, but also leaves you wanting more. First up, we have the intro, and there are some heavy Billie Eilish influences on this one. It's dark and heavy in its electronic instrumentation with some nonchalant vocal delivery, and this makes up the bulk of this intro. The lyrics being all in English was a pretty nice touch, makes it stand out a bit from the rest of the songs on the mini-album. I wouldn't say it's a necessary intro, but it does prepare you for the sounds and, lyrical styles that you'll be experiencing on the mini. Next up, we got Ponzona, the Big Single. The immediate presence of the dark beat and string samples give the song a very unique identity. The girls' vocals also have a very similar dark yet elegant attitude to them. I also really like that added dance groove that's brought into the chorus, the transition between the heavier R&B instrumentals and that dancey chorus. It's really well done. The keys just add to those elegant vibes, and that killer flow from Yuki during her rap verse, it brings a more serious swagger to the track that balances out all the other instrumentals. Just like Mamamoo Dinga though, I wish they kept the dance break in this track. Like, goddamn, that super deep and cacophonous instrumental, it really adds a lot to the track, I think. The lyrics are also pretty neat. They have a sort of film noir, femme fatale vibe to them that I really enjoy. It's very different for K-pop, and I think it fits this track's darker atmosphere really well. Can We Talk Again is another really good one, a bit more emphasizing the R&B style of things. The simple intro is a perfect fake-out to the warm beat and that killer bass line that comes in. That chorus is also a great vocal sensation, and the introduction to the keys and vocal modifications on this track, it has a flavor that's just a really great touch, honestly. Once again, Yuki's rap verse comes in smooth as hell and doesn't really detract from the other members' vocals on this one too. It stands out for sure, but it doesn't steal the spotlight or make the other members feel like unneeded or anything. It also fits really well into the less intensive sound that the track has. Normally you expect a rap verse to kind of, overpower the slower instrumental, but that's not the case here. The hint of somberness in the vocal delivery also matched the lyrics pretty well, giving a pretty heartfelt tale about missing someone and how their life was basically pretty much based around that person, so you can imagine how they would feel when they left. Switching styles for a bit, the group goes for a more suave trap banger with Skip Skip. The background vocals are pretty grand, and I really do like the don't give a fuck energy about this track. The skip skip ad-libs also add a pretty fun sort of flavor to the chorus, and it adds to a pretty sassy vibe that's present through a lot of this track. I do think the instrumental isn't as interesting as some of the previous songs on the mini though. It just doesn't have the full sound that I really like on my R&B tunes. The pre-chorus is also a bit generic, and I don't think it fits the overall instrumental that well. I do think the lyrics are pretty fun though, and they do tie back to the lyrics of Ponzona as well, as the girls know they're hot shit and they want to exude that confidence. Next up we got Hello. This is another track that is a bit more exuding that modern trap pop instrumentation. It's alright. I really like the chorus, and I feel like it shows off Swan and Goyun's vocals really well. However, I do think the instrumental on the verses is pretty repetitive. The track in general just doesn't change that much. It kind of stagnates a bit. There's nothing bad about it per se, but I think everything it does is pretty much just done better by other songs on the mini. And this is true from both a lyrical and instrumental standpoint. Nearing the end though, we do have Make My Heart Skip a Beat, and this one's pretty sick. An intense guitar riff is actually the main star of the show with this one, with the heavy and dramatic beats and vocals kind of serving support. Like I said in the intro, it actually kind of reminds me of some of Dreamcatcher's songs with all the sort of rock, anthemic rock vibes that are going on here. The chorus is super fun, kind of channeling a bit of a baby metal sort of flavor. There's a lot going on in this track, but I feel like they were able to stitch all these pieces together pretty seamlessly. They all work well and kind of balance each other out nicely. Each part of the track is very different, keeping you on your toes, but I do think it's a pretty natural evolution of the sound that they were exploring on Ponzona. The more manic instrumental also fits the lyrics about being drawn in and infatuated by someone. Though the lyrics are pretty vague about whether this person is a lover or just someone you really vibe with, and I would imagine that vagueness is probably intentional. Period is a slower ballad track that ends the mini. Nothing really new for K-pop, you see that a lot. However, I feel like it basically does everything Hello was trying to do, but better. The vocals really shine here, and the piano kind of fills up the space where the instrumentals on Hello just couldn't. The added instruments during the chorus give the track a nice swell, and Yuki's rap verse on here gives me some Ellie vibes from EXID, which I always appreciate, you know that. It's just a very heartfelt and endearing closing track. Lyrically, it's also a breakup song, if a very dramatic one. I think it would fit a K-drama or something like that pretty well. So Purple Kiss's debut was pretty good overall. I think the group is still trying to find their sound. They have some pretty good things going with the dark pop style of Ponzona, and the R&B grooves of Can We Talk Again, and even the rock-influenced moments of Make My Heart Skip a Beat. However, when they go for the more contemporary pop and trap sounds, I find that the instrumentals tend to stagnate a bit. It also makes them sound a bit too similar to their contemporaries when they're doing this sort of thing. They've got some great vocals and a fantastic rapper in Yuki, and also some pretty interesting lyrical topics too, especially in how they deliver them. So because of all this, I think that once the group finds their footing, they're going to make some pretty killer tunes in the future. Overall, I am feeling a strong 6 on Purple Kiss's debut. Of course, we do have to talk about the album cover on this show, and I think it's a decent album cover. I like the attempt at the more modern art aspects featuring just shapes and text. I feel like it doesn't fill the space that well. I kind of would have preferred it if it was like both the name of the group and the name of the album were on the same, upper corner or lower corner or something like that, and they just have blank space before on the other side, and then they have the, square maybe a little bit bigger in the middle. I don't know. I think the idea is good, and I like that they're using some modern art aspects, but I feel like they need to fill the space a little bit more. The color choice is good, though. It's obviously very apt to their name, but I think it needs to have a little bit more personality. But those are my thoughts about Purple Kiss's debut. What did you guys think about it? Is this one of those groups to watch? Do you think they're going to get big in the future? Are they maybe becoming your new favorite group? Let me know, and as always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring all the musical instruments that notify you about things. But until the next one, farewell.